I want to take this moment to have the honor and the privilege to introduce Sandy. Everybody knows who she is, okay? But here's a little bit. She's an accomplished leader. She's a former CPA that has served as a lead analyst for a Fortune 250 company. She has real world experience. Not only is she a true friend, but she cares about making a difference. Okay. Everybody, you got to listen to what she has to say. That's all I'm going to say. Everybody, listen to what she has to say. She's absolutely amazing.
Thanks, Di, and thanks, Joe. You guys are the best, and I love this presentation because we do a lot of great with this. So here we go. Hi, everybody. Welcome. I am so stinking excited to be with you here today. But quick question before we start. If you could help families and or business owners keep tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars that they're already earning without selling a product, without chasing people, and without quitting what you're already doing, would you want to at least understand how to do that? Would you want to know how that works? Yeah, right, for sure. What if you could help them build wealth, be more strategic with their money, and what if we could even show them how to use the same dollar twice while we're putting that money back into their pockets? You want to know a little more about that today? That's exactly why we're here. We're going to have so much fun. And I want to be clear up front. This is not network marketing as you've seen it. It's not about recruiting everybody you know, and it's definitely not about convincing people. Nobody wants to do that. It's not a fun way to spend the day. This is about education, leverage, and duplication done ethically. Because how many of you know somebody who would love to get out of debt faster? Do you know anybody that would love to create wealth to increase their retirement to actually retire? Do you know anybody that works at Walmart as a greeter because they want to just be around people, not because they need the money? Do you know anybody that really, really wants to make more money? They're tired of living paycheck to paycheck. And maybe you know folks like me. They want all three options. That was me. I needed all three of those options. By the end of this call, by the end of this meeting, you're going to know if Money Max is simply something that you want to refer to other people, something that you are going to use personally, or something that you want to build as an agent with us. So that's our objective. Fair? Are you guys in for that? Sound pretty good so far? Okay, because I'm excited. And I want to show you what we do and exactly why I have the most exciting career ever. I'm an executive director for a multi-billion dollar financial technology company, which is specifically designed to help average Americans, just like you and me, eliminate all their debt in as little as a third of the time or even less, while simultaneously building wealth that's both tax advantaged, the legal way to say tax-free, and risk-free. Do you guys want that career too? Because did you know, statistically, the average consumer and business owner will pay more in interest and unnecessary taxes over their lifetime than they ever paid for their first home, their first building, their biggest investment, or even college tuition. And the most frustrating part, did you guys know that money loss, it's 100% optional. And in the next half hour, I'm going to show you how consumers and business owners are using MoneyMax to turn everyday cash flow into a wealth building asset without adding debt, without adding risk. And then I'll show you how you can leverage that information to create income. You're going to see money in a new way, a way you've never seen it before. And once you see it, you won't be able to unsee it. We don't want to anyway, right? Who wants to unsee something once we know the truth? This is going to follow you into your thoughts, into your decisions, even into your dreams. And some of you are going to be like me, and you'll start to dream again for the first time in such a long time because it changes the way that your mind works. And by the time we're done, you'll understand why the banking system keeps people stuck. You'll understand that you can finally break free of it. And you'll understand how we can help other people break free too. You'll understand how we can create wealth while we're doing that. So you ready? One last question. Are you tackling debt the old way or the new way? The old way, just pay whatever bill comes up. Hope for the best. Watch balances that barely budge. It's okay to think, oh yeah, that's totally what I'm doing. That's what I was doing too. And I'm an accountant. I worked for a Fortune 250 company as a lead financial analyst, and I was still paying my bills the old way. I should have known better, but I didn't know what I didn't know. And I get it. That's the pay and pray method. Most of us grew up with that. But here's the truth. It's just not working. You know it. Your lenders know it too. They're okay with it. But are you okay with it? Today, I want to show you something different, not another budget trick. It's not even another sacrifice. It's just a smarter path, one that calculates the fastest route to zero without turning your lifestyle upside down. Does that sound good to you guys? What do you think? You see, technology, it's reshaping everything about our lives, from the cars that drive themselves to smartphones that we hate to put down. I've got mine right here. We're living in an age of acceleration. Wouldn't it only make sense that we'd want a little more speed when it comes to eliminating debt and growing wealth? Because what once felt like science fiction, it's everyday reality now. And here's the bigger truth. It's not just gadgets that are changing. It's us. It's the way we connect, the way we work, even the way we manage our money. And in this new world, the question isn't if technology is going to change your life. It's how you're going to harness it. Will you let it overwhelm you? Or will you use it to create clarity and to create freedom? And that is the journey that we're stepping into today. We as a company, we used to celebrate with families when they achieved their dream of homeownership. But behind those victories, another story was unfolding. Credit card balances that never shrank, car loans that stretch on for years. Did you guys know you can finance a car for 10 years now? Do cars even last that long anymore? Student debt that seems endless and an eventual refi is in their future. You see, debt has just become a treadmill. People are running so hard. Do you ever feel like you're running your guts out, but you're just staying in the same place? We, as a company, we wanted to do something to change that. And that's exactly what we did. For us, we leveraged technology to catapult ourselves to become the national leaders in the mortgage industry. And from the very beginning, we also believed that we should show our clients how to rapidly eliminate their mortgage and all of their other debt. We spent years in development, and the breakthrough finally came in 2004, and we launched the very first version of MoneyMax, an automated banking algorithm that would give consumers the same type of tool that a bank would use to pay off their debt. But we didn't stop there. Today, MoneyMax has evolved into something even more powerful. We show clients how to redirect their dollars strategically to accelerate their debt payoff, but now they can use the same type of tool that the bank would use to also grow their wealth, literally using the same dollar twice. And isn't it a better strategy to create wealth while we're paying down debt? To do that at the same time? Yeah, absolutely. I hope you're nodding your head. For sure, yes, it is. Let's do that every day, all day. But why us? I'm going to tell you why us. Because John Mashenko, the founder of our company, was nationally recognized by Ernst & Young with the Entrepreneur of the Year award in the financial services division in 2008. Do you guys remember 2008? I know some of you are not young enough, are not old enough to remember 2008. But for those of you that are, what was happening then? Yeah, the financial sky was falling. And I don't know about you, but our personal financial sky was falling in 2008. It was not a good time. But you guys know what? Look at who else has won this award. Microsoft, Starbucks, eBay, Amazon, YouTube, Apple. These guys, these companies, they've literally changed the world with their technology that they created. And so we are so incredibly proud to be part of an elite group like that. But we're even more excited as we watch our clients rapidly eliminate debt and build wealth. And what you're seeing on the screen right now, this is not just lines of code. It's intelligence at work. This system is powered by advanced algorithms, the same kind of technology banks use to grow their profits. But here, it's working for you. And every calculation, every adjustment, every recommendation is driven by a real-time analysis of your finances, your goals, your dreams, your objectives. It's tailored to you. And with this system, you don't just manage debt. You use a bank-level financial tool to eliminate it. Imagine if your finances had a GPS, not just a roadmap, not just a spreadsheet, but a smart system that calculates the fastest route to debt freedom based on where you are today financially. That's what MoneyMax does. It starts by asking, hey, where do you want to go? Do you want to be debt-free? Can you imagine what it would be like to not owe anything to anybody? Do you want to be wealthy? Do you dream about being a princess? Do you just want security? You want to just stop worrying? Do you want to provide more value to your employees? Do you want to be able to make a difference for them too? Do you want to raise money for the causes that you believe in? Maybe it's something completely different from all of those things. What is it that you want? You get to enter your destination. You define that, and the system plots the most efficient path down to the exact day that you're going to arrive. And along the way, it's going to redirect your cash flow. It's going to cancel unnecessary interest. It's going to accelerate the payoff of your mortgage and every other debt, both consumer and business debts, all without asking you to change your current lifestyle. No budgeting, no sacrifice, just smart financial navigation. And if you choose to, you can accelerate that by becoming an agent with us. MoneyMax isn't just math, or it isn't magic. It's just math. It's built around proven banking principles and strategies, the same principles banks have used for decades to grow their wealth. Now, these are available for you to grow yours. Let's break down a few. Number one, strategic payoff, one of my very favorites. Strategic payoff just means that you're moving from just paying bills as they pop up to thinking about mathematical precision. It's about targeting the right debt at the right time. Number two is interest accumulation. Seems so basic, right? But what that really means is that you stop being on the losing side of compound interest. We're going to flip that script. We're going to stop the silent killer from draining your wealth. And then number three, interest float. That means that you can start paying your bills the same way the bank would pay theirs, by leveraging the gap between income and expenses to keep your dollars working for you longer before they leave your pocket. And then number four, interest cancellation. Lenders, they're not going to show you how to cancel interest. That would be silly. It would take money out of their pocket. But learning to redirect payments so that you can cancel interest means that you can wipe out years of interest charges and save tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars of interest that you will no longer owe. Do you guys get excited? Think about that for just a second. Think about what that means. Did you know the interest we pay is optional? These principles and others are what power MoneyMax. They turn debt elimination and wealth creation into a predictable and guided journey. So let's look at the first principle, strategic payoff. Most people approach debt like a game of whack-a-mole. We just pay whatever bill comes up and hope that the balances shrink, and then we repeat the process. That's not strategy. That's just reaction. So let's test what you know about strategy. Are you guys up for that? What if you had an extra $300 left over after all the bills have been paid and you've done every single thing that's important to you, and you want to use that $300 to pay down some debt? So which one of these would you pay first? Who would you give that $300 to? Would you pay the highest interest rate? The lowest balance? Yeah, many of you have said you're going to pay the smallest balance first. You're thinking about the snowball strategy. Others of you said, hey, spread it all around. Let's pay a little bit to all of them. And truthfully, all of these solutions are going to be helpful to some degree. But is that what you want? Do you want to just get close? Close means that we're giving lenders money that we don't have to, because interest is optional. Strategic payoff changes the game. It's about precision. It's about targeting the right debt with the right amount at exactly the right time. So every single dollar that you spend has the maximum impact. And yes, even the day that you send extra money to a creditor, it matters. So why use a financial GPS? Have you ever taken a look at how much interest you're actually paying? We get to do that together if you'd like to. When my husband and I got to that page on our mortgage docs, I signed that sucker as fast as I could because I did not want him to realize how much we would pay for that house. Crazy, right? Let's look. This is an example of a $300,000 mortgage at 6% interest. Principal and interest portion of their payment is $1,798. Look at how much interest is inside that first payment. Crazy, right? It's an $1,800 payment, and more than 80% of it is going 100% to interest. Month two doesn't look much better. Is it any wonder that it takes 30 years to pay off your mortgage? And if 80% of your first payment goes to interest, does that really feel like a 6% interest rate? Half of 30 years is 15, but the mortgage doesn't get to half for 21 years. Only with Baker's math is 21 half of 30. And at the halfway point, you would have already paid more than $453,000. And if you stayed on the bank's plan until the end, you will pay $647,000 for that $300,000 home. That's more than $347,000 just for interest. That's two homes. That's a lot. In fact, that's 115% in interest dollars. We're basically giving away what could have gone a long way towards a successful retirement. So let's look at real people and real numbers, because isn't that more fun? I want you to see a real example. What we're here for today is to figure out whether or not this is an opportunity that you want to share with other people. Can you make money doing this? Can it help you? Meet James and Katie. After all the bills have been paid, they have $300 of cash flow on average and like to use it to rapidly pay off their mortgage. They're a smart couple, right? They know mortgage interest is amortized and front-loaded, and they're going to target that $300 directly to their mortgage. Sounds like a good plan, yeah? Here's what their debt looks like. They have a brand new mortgage, a car loan, and a couple credit cards with balances. They also have a credit card that they charge all of their expenses on, and they pay it off every single month. They get miles because they want to take more vacations. You guys want to take more vacations? Let's look at their current plan. They owe a little over $340,000 in total, but only $300,000 is on their mortgage. Because they wanted to focus on the mortgage, we showed them how much interest they currently owe on that mortgage. That's $347,000. So if they follow the bank's plan, they would pay $700,000 for their $300,000 home. The result is that they would shrink the amount of interest that they owe, saving them more than $119,000 and 9 years of mortgage payments. Total win, right? So they applied $300 directly to their mortgage and they're saving 9 years. They're saving $119,000. Yes. But what would happen if MoneyMax optimized all the details? What if MoneyMax created a plan tailored specifically to them? Do you think it could make a difference? What if every single dollar owed and every single dollar earned were optimized? Exact math would save as much interest as possible every single month. The try it yourself plan, it's effective. It saved them some money and some time. But using MoneyMax as their financial GPS, they're now going to save more than $264,000, and they're going to save over 19 years of payments. Guys, their new debt-free ETA is only 10.8 years versus 21 years versus the original 30. So did they make it better on their own? Yeah. But did they leave a lot on the table? Absolutely they did. So let me show you what this is really doing for this family. You see, MoneyMax is going to give them exact guidance every single month, showing them how to save more than 71% of the interest that they owe without changing their current lifestyle. How is that even possible? How does that work? I know that's what you're wondering. You know how I know? That's what I was wondering too. And I can explain it. It's math. It's just math. It's highly complex algorithms that work far beyond what the buttons on your calculator can do. And it works. We've been in business for more than 20 years. We have a money back guarantee. And in the first 90 days of using this system, the first 3 months, this couple, they had already eliminated $27,000 of interest that they originally owed. So to save a bunch of time and to save a bunch of money, all they have to do is execute the plan. But there's more. Let me show you what's really happening for this family. It was the same cash flow. MoneyMax just knew a smarter way to use it. And following the instructions would help this family keep more than $264,000 for their future. But wait, there's more. You see, they had agreed to 30 years of payments when they signed that mortgage doc. MoneyMax shows you how to pay off your debt fast so that you can start saving fast too. And after they become debt-free, if they would just redirect the same debt payments into a savings account, and it's only earning 1%, they would accumulate more than $711,000 for their retirement. They'd be 65 and financially secure at the very same time that they would have had zero in the bank account with the bank's plan. Can it get any better than that? Yeah, it can. Because what are you trying to build for yourself? You see, MoneyMax gives you the exact instructions each month to make your financial dreams come true, and we guarantee it. So let me show you quickly how it works. I want to introduce you to the offset account. MoneyMax can accelerate your payoff by using a HELOC, any other type of line of credit, a basic savings account even, or even a high cash value insurance policy. First, the system establishes a minimum reserve in your checking account. It's not going to make a recommendation to take you below that number. And then the system sees income coming in, and you'll pay your bills like normal, and MoneyMax will provide directions with any excess money. And each time it sees income, it will repeat the process. And as your offset account grows, it gets to an optional transfer point, an optimal transfer point, sorry, and it provides you with exactly who to give that money to, the exact amount you can afford to give, and the exact day to do it to achieve the greatest savings. There's no guesswork. It's just math. But what happens when life throws you a curveball? MoneyMax is there. Those surprises become part of the plan. The system adapts in real time, recalculating, redirecting, and showing you exactly how to stay on track. What once felt like chaos becomes clarity because every curveball is met with strategy. And that's the beauty of MoneyMax. It doesn't just help when things are predictable. That would be easier. It shines because life is unpredictable, because freedom isn't about avoiding curveballs. It's about knowing that you can handle them. What if this financial GPS we're talking about really is smarter? What if it's really faster? What would that mean? Knowing how to fill this jar is what everyone is looking for. Not that you want to retire on your own island. Hey, but wouldn't that be nice? When you think about retirement, how many of you think, I want to be freezing somewhere? And if you do, don't even tell me because I want you to think about sand and ocean and being warm. And maybe your beach is filled with all the people that you love and your grandbabies are there. Maybe you don't have grandbabies because you're seeing this a little sooner. Maybe you're 30 and you're going to retire by 40 and you're going to be completely free. And maybe you'll have a plan in place and maybe everything is going to be better than you ever thought was possible. Can you imagine the peace of knowing that your retirement is secure? You're not depending on Social Security. Can you imagine the joy of being part of the process for somebody else? That's MoneyMax. That's what being an agent with MoneyMax is about. Most people think of money as a one-way street. You either save it and let it grow, or you spend it and lose the growth. You see, Money Max flips that script. It flips it right around. It's a strategy using a specifically designed life insurance policy that allows you to act as your own bank. And here's the biggest advantage: uninterrupted compounding. Essentially, your dollar does two jobs at once. It funds your life today while building a tax advantage, the legal way to say tax-free, legacy for tomorrow. Start to get excited about that because look at James and KT. Here's their new 30-year plan. Remember these guys? Money Max is going to help them keep more than $264,000 for their future. It's going to help them become debt-free in just 10.8 years, guaranteed. And it will then help them create more than $6,000 of monthly tax advantage, remember the legal way to say tax-free, income until they're 95 years old, guaranteed. And if they die before 95, what happens to that money? They leave a legacy for their family. Now that's a secure life. That's a lot to get right. And most people don't have the time, the tools, the expertise to juggle all those moving parts. And even if we try, the margin for error, it's just so huge. And the cost of mistakes is measured in years of extra payments and thousands of wasted dollars. MoneyMax automates the complexity. It does the math for us. It tells you exactly what to pay, when to pay it, and exactly how much to pay. Would you like to know what your future looks like financially? I hope you're thinking yes, because it looks like this. This is a copy of a personal savings report, and this is what we do. It's going to show you exactly where you are financially, how much interest your lenders want you to give them, and how much of that interest you get to keep for yourself, because interest is optional. And for this family, after all the bills are paid, they only have $149 of extra cash flow. Now, let's be honest for a moment. That's really living paycheck to paycheck, isn't it? And if you only have $149 left after all your bills are paid, what would you do with it? You're probably thinking, I can't really do much. That seriously rounds down to zero. One emergency and I am cash flow negative. But that little bit of cash flow, that's enough to show this family how to save 68% of the interest the bank wants to collect. 68%! For them, that's keeping $185,000 right where they want it in their own bank account. And you'll also get to see your current timeline with the bank's plan. For this family, they have a mortgage, so the bank still has more than 28 years of payments to go. And yet using the most advanced debt tool available, this family will now be completely debt-free in just 8 years. Do you guys remember how much money they had left over to use to pay down debt and create wealth at the end of the month? Yeah, $149. They're going to be debt-free in 8 years instead of 28. They're going to save $185,000 that they would have given to the bank. And one last thing, getting out of debt may be the priority for you. It might not, but we know you're going to need more. This family, without earning any more money than they currently do, will also be able to acquire more than $3 million for their future in the same amount of time that would have taken to pay off their mortgage. Money Max, it's life-changing. Are your gears turning about the possibility of living a financially free life? Are your gears turning, thinking about who you could help? Who do you know that could use this platform too? Are you starting to wonder what the commission looks like if you decide to share this with others? Most people don't fail financially because they're lazy or irresponsible. They fail because they're alone. They're trying to make big decisions in the dark, guessing their way through debt, guessing their way through bills and goals that always feel just a little bit out of reach. And that's why having a personal financial coach changes everything. Suddenly, you've got somebody in your corner, someone who sees your potential, believes in your future, and walks with you step by step. Can you imagine what it would be like to step into an opportunity where you have a trainer who locks arms with you, who's teaching you everything they know, who's walking with you step by step? Money Max transforms your financial life from something you fear into something that you control. And it's not just about money. It's about hope. It's about confidence and the feeling of knowing that you're not doing this alone anymore. So what do you think? Should you automate your finances? Technology is changing everything about our lives today. I appreciate all the robots, the self-driving cars, all the stuff. But aren't you glad it finally got around to our finances? Automation, it's not about giving up control. It's about designing a system that works for you, even when life gets messy. And doesn't it get messy sometimes? Here's your chance to have an honest conversation about your money. No judgment. We're here to listen, to understand your unique situation, and to help you see money in a whole new light. In one simple, no-cost consultation, you'll uncover insights that can move you from uncertainty to confidence, from confusion to control. Your coach will gather the details that matter most and create a customized personal savings report, a clear, personalized snapshot of how your money can start working smarter for you. It's not just information. It's a plan designed to execute strategy and to give you peace of mind. You've carried the weight of your finances long enough. You've pushed, you've hoped, you've tried, and you've wondered if things are ever going to turn in your favor. And maybe you're like me and you see that lottery billboard and you think, oh my gosh, I hope I win. And then you remember that you don't play because that would be silly. You can't really win, but you still want to. We don't have to do that any longer. You see, when my friend Kevin brought Money Max to me, it was very much like winning the lottery. You don't have to do this alone. This is your moment to step into something better, a system that gives you clarity, a coach who believes in you, and a path that finally makes sense. The Money Max account isn't just another tool. It's a turning point. It's the moment that we stop surviving and we start building the life that we were meant to live, the life we were called to live. So if you're ready to breathe again, schedule an appointment. If you're ready to hope again, schedule an appointment. If you're ready to see real progress instead of just promises, take the next step. Say yes. Your future, it's waiting for you. And it's so incredibly bright. Just schedule the appointment. Use the link below. Use the link on the screen to schedule your appointment today. Before we close, I want to speak to you about something real. Some of you have seen incredible results already. You're on track for exactly what you imagined life would be. And some of you, you're like me. Life happened. Cash flow shifted. Maybe the timing wasn't right. Maybe you got stuck. Maybe you went to school and you got an MBA and you passed the CPA exam and you worked for a Fortune 250 company as a lead financial analyst, and maybe you already paid off all of your debt, including your mortgage. And then you started your own financial services company and you were doing everything the way you planned. It was perfect. And you're sitting at dinner one night and the phone rings and you hear your firstborn son crying in the background. And he's calling for you. He's calling for his mom. And he's been in a motorcycle accident when the car pulled out in front of him and he hit it. It threw him in the highway and a Jeep ran over him. And the person that hit him is on the phone telling you that it's really bad. And you've got to get there. And so you load everybody up and you drive 10 hours. And by the time we got to North Carolina, our son was in a coma. He was non-responsive to pain. He was fighting for his life. The machines were breathing for him. And we were doing brain death studies. And I spent 8 months advocating for my kiddo, fighting for him and praying for him. 8 months where I didn't answer a single text. I didn't respond to a single email. And I didn't think about the business I was supposed to be running. And what happened during that time? We started to drain our savings. We were given a miracle, and then we were given another. Miracle after miracle. And our son survived an unsurvivable accident. And we went home 8 months later, and he was total care. He is total care. We spent $230,000 to make our house livable for our handicapped son, and I chose to stay home with him. instead of going back to work because he needs me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And we cashed out all our retirement. So fast forward, we wake up and I'm 52. How the heck does that happen? We're cash flow negative. We're 18 months behind on our new mortgage, and our home is about to be foreclosed. We're so incredibly grateful to have our son. And it was the very next morning that my friend Kevin reached out to me and he said, "Hey, I've got something for you to look at." Kind of like the person that invited you here today probably said to you. It's the same something that I'm showing you now. And it took me 14 months to be at a point that I was ready to start building wealth and recreating my retirement. But in that 14 months, we cut up all our debts. We had a plan to be completely debt-free, including the new mortgage, in less than 5 years. And in 14 months, we got approved to start building wealth and using the same dollar twice. And then we had a plan to not only recreate the retirement that we had cashed out, but guys, in 7 years, we will have created a retirement income of $128,000 a year until I'm 95. We started with nothing. We actually started in the negative. We started behind. We were so late to the game and had so little runway left. And so when I invite you tonight to take a look at where you are, whether or not you want to do this with us to create income for your family, it's from the place of knowing that it can make a difference for you. Maybe you feel just as overwhelmed as I did when Kevin reached out to me. And if that's you, please hear this clearly. It's not too late. Debt elimination alone can only take you so far. It's wealth building that completes the system. And when the two work together, everything changes. And that's why we built Money Max Pro. I want you to have the full engine, not just half of it. I'm giving you a plan that cancels interest and builds wealth. I'm giving you a system that works even when life gets messy, even when somebody needs you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I'm giving you a path forward and it will work. No matter where you're starting from today, it isn't too late. So here's the invitation. If you're ready for the next chapter, if you're ready for clarity instead of confusion, momentum instead of stalls, a plan instead of pressure, and a financial engine that finally works, it finally works for you, then step into the Money Max Pro with us. Not because everything has gone perfectly up to this point. And if it has gone perfectly for you, high stinking five. Let's celebrate that and then let's take it to the next level. But if it hasn't gone perfectly for you, your story isn't finished yet. Tonight, tonight is your reset. It's your relaunch. It's where your financial engine gets its afterburners. Don't you love afterburners? Aren't they fun? Let's build your wealth together. So I want to ask you again, how many of you know somebody who would love to get out of debt faster? Do you know anybody that would love to create wealth, increase their retirement, actually retire? Do you know anyone that really wants or needs to make more money? And maybe you know folks like me who want all three options. If you answered yes, I want to invite you to think about, could you make a difference with what I showed you tonight? Do you think that there are people out there that are waiting to hear only from you? How cool is it that we get paid to do that? And there are 6 ways that you can earn income. You can earn income on personal sales. You can become a trainer and help other people with their sales. You'll even be assigned a certified field trainer that has been trained specifically to help you help people and to help you create income. You can take advantage of profit sharing and overrides. You can get overrides on helping lead. You can even earn equity in the company. What would it be like to sit back and listen? Maybe even put a little duct tape over your mouth and your certified field trainer does the presentation, kind of like the presentation I just did now. And the family moves forward and you change everything for them. They're saving tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars. They're going to be debt-free so much sooner, maybe in as little as a third of the time of the bank's plan. And the next week, you get a direct deposit of around $600 just for listening, just for making the connection. Could that make a difference for you? You see, commissions, even when you're in training, average around $600. And when you reach the top of the income scale, they average around $2,100. And if you help one family a month, you add $2,100 to the amount of money that you're earning. Would that make a difference for you? Do you think it'll speed up how quickly you could become debt-free? How much faster you create wealth? How much sooner you can retire? How much faster you get your vacation home? How much faster you can do whatever it is that you love? How much more you can give where you want to give? How crazy is it that you can get the top of the income scale by helping around 30 families? You could do that in a month or less because the sky is the limit. And when I tell you that this is the best comp plan I've ever seen, I'm not exaggerating. And when I tell you that it isn't one of those things where you get a check for $1.13 and then it doubles and it still rounds down to zero, it's not one of those things either. Because anything we do this week, we will be paid for next week. And we get paid 3 times a week. And I can sit down with a single mom that needs to make rent. She can connect me with a family and we can change everything for them. But we also change everything for the single mom, and she's able to pay her rent. And I can sit down with someone who's forgotten how to dream, who has no hope, but's willing to do a little work, willing to get into activity, willing to help others, who wants to change the world, who wants to make a difference, and we can turn everything around their very first day. And as we work together and you reach the top of the income chart, I get rewarded for helping you win. I get a raise. And it doesn't get any better than that. It really doesn't. You don't need hundreds of agents here. You need a handful of key people, people that you want to lock arms with, people that are mission focused, that want to make a difference. And you can change everything for yourself and for them and for all the lives that you touch, the families that you touch, even the businesses that you touch. We even get bonuses. So what does it take to get started with us? I hope you're on the edge of your seat. I hope that you're so grateful to the person that invited you tonight because it's only $199 to enroll as an agent. Seriously rounds down to zero. It really does. It's $199 one time with no monthly subscriptions, no monthly products to buy. Didn't I tell you this isn't one of those things? You have an annual renewal of $50 and you get everything you need to succeed. Yep, I said it out loud. You get everything you need. You get a certified field trainer, your training material, the ability to run a demo, access to the back office to track your potential clients, and your active clients' progress. Everything you need. It's so simple to leverage your way to success. If you saw something tonight that made you think, I can make a difference here, then number one, enroll as a UF agent for $199. Number two, run your own numbers to see that MoneyMax is amazing and what it can do for you. And number three, invite more people to learn with you. You aren't paid to recruit new agents. You're here tonight because the person that invited you sees something special about you. It could be your work ethic, your ability to connect to people, your background. It could be the way you care about people. It could be that you're the exact person they want to work with to change the direction of lives in the future. We invite you to get back to the person that invited you to the presentation today. Tell them that you need to run your numbers ASAP, that every day counts, that they can sleep later because compounding works for you or against you, and every dollar counts. So dig in and see what this can do for you personally, and then ask them to duplicate the scenario and run it. If you help just one person a month, if you help one person a week, I want you to see the potential of what you have here with MoneyMax. I'm looking forward to being on this journey with you. And when you book your appointment before you leave today, we've got a special gift for you. You're going to be able to get a copy of Jason Ingram's Wealth Beyond Debt. And so if you're curious about how do I do that thing you said about pay down debt and create my retirement at the same time, it's right here. And you're going to get it just for booking your appointment to see what's possible for you. So thanks for joining us tonight. See you soon.